This is the Mystic Girl Cult, a safe space to celebrate the journey to find your most magical self. No judgment, no hate, just stardust trying to find its shape. Get ready to be indoctrinated into the circle. My guest today is my really good friend, Briana. Briana is currently a third-year PhD in clinical psychology student. She's chosen to devote her life to forensics and works with post-convicted criminals. She also loves podcasts, movies, and TV shows that include murder. And also The Little Mermaid and Sailor Moon. Let's get right into our conversation. Hey, Briana.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's the Mystic Girl Cult podcast for that little bit of magic. Briana is one of my best friends and an amazing person, and I really always love when I get your advice and when I get to talk to you, and I feel like it would be really beneficial to anyone who decides to listen to get to hear some of your points of view.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're going to school right now. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I am currently working on my PhD in clinical psychology with an emphasis in forensics.
And you've been doing this for how long now? Because you've been doing the school for it since I've known you, pretty much.
Yes. So I have my bachelor's degree in psychology. I have my master's degree in psychology. I've been in it like 7-8 years already.
I'm just a little proud friend over here. Because it's amazing. You found something you really like, and you're making it happen however you can.
Yeah, I'm trying. But, I mean, you've been with me through this journey. I met you probably when I just first started undergrad, so...
I think so. We've known each other 6 years now?
6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. So, right around the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Briana and I met working at a bookstore, and now we have both graduated onto bigger and better things. You were telling me how something really important to you is how when you're in school and dealing with all of the pressures that come from school and, working outside of school and all the expectations, that it's really important to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it is. People think like, oh, you just get loans, you just get scholarships, you do whatever, and everything is paid for. But, typically...
No.
Not the case, especially for someone who's in quotes considered middle class, when middle class is basically like
dead
poverty right now.
Yep.
I went through everything working full time, most of it, and right now full time isn't an option, so I work part time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to fit in that part of taking care of yourself, whether it's just getting an extra hour of sleep or watching your favorite show,
listening to a podcast.
Actually, that is a lot easier because I am commuting right now for my internship.
Yeah.
And I drive about 2 hours. So
oh, girl, I understand that so much.
Yes. So listening to podcasts is actually, I have a lot of time for that because I'm in the car so much. So that's the upside.
Yeah. Typically, your week ends up being class and internship?
Class, internship, work, and then, reading for school, doing homework, doing work for internship outside of actual internship.
Oh my goodness. What are some things that you do to deal with it?
Recently, I've actually been scheduling in my Google Calendar, like my hours.
Mm-hmm.
Every single hour has something. So it'll be like, read for this class or do the dishes for 30 minutes. I'm trying to slowly put in there like, okay, take a break.
Yes.
Watch a movie.
That's very important.
Yeah, but what helps a lot is I have a lot of support from my boyfriend, and he kind of will see that I'm in the burnout mode, and he's just like, all right, you need to put down your book, and you need to just take a second, do something fun.
He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So what kind of stuff do you usually do to unwind?
I typically like to read for fun, but I have not been able to do so much of that lately. I've been watching shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes. I'm so happy it's back.
Me too. So good. And then, gosh, what else do I do? I've actually recently been more into like painting my nails as kind of just like taking a second to breathe, and I mean not breathe in too deep because
Yeah, because I mean, you never know. Because it's a good time to take time for you.
Yes, it
Right?
is. It's a time to just kind of stop, and you have to focus on just this because otherwise you mess up.
So when did you realize that you weren't fitting enough into your routine to take care of yourself?
I get sick a lot, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons is because I don't get enough sleep. I don't have enough time to just like relax, and people, which I actually feel pretty lucky in that regard because I've had other classmates who have like complete mental breakdowns like in our facility of like just bawling, and yes, I've totally had those moments, but I've heard some other people's stories and they just break down, and it's so sad because classes expect you to be there and you can't take sick days. And I'm in the field of mental health, but there's no mental health for a psychologist apparently.
I feel like they're missing like a big section to show other schools how to better take care of their students.
I agree with that. I mean, I will say the training that we receive is top notch. It needs more.
Yeah, it's one of those things where people expect that the school is going to be your entire life, and
Mm-hmm.
nowadays it really can't be. Everyone that I know that's in school, people that we know mutually, they have at least one job, if not more than one job, and it's also
Mm-hmm.
like family responsibilities, all of this, and you're just expected to be able to give all of your time to everything. But
Okay.
it's really important to find that balance, and I'm really glad that if you're not holding yourself to it, at least you have somebody there who's trying to be like, hey.
Yes, it was. We did long distance for a while, and that was a lot harder because I had to do it myself, and I wasn't doing a really good job of it. So there was definitely a lot more of like freaking out, anxiety, and
How do you deal with it when you get like to those points where you're like, I really just am overloaded right this second?
I make lists. I love lists. So it will be a list of every project I have to do or whatever tasks I have to do. And then if I can break that down into like smaller pieces, I break it down and then list it by priority because I'm like, okay, well, looking at this, I actually really don't have to do this until next week. So I can put that off. I don't have to do that today. Okay, maybe I can do these two smaller pieces of this project today, and then I have something done to show for myself and I can check those off. And it feels a lot better. I've been using this website called Habitica.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
It's like a gamified task list.
Okay.
So you kind of have to have some people be friends with you on there just because you go on quests and stuff. Yeah,
That
it's so
sounds
fun.
fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. You get points for completing your tasks on time. You like can change your armor and stuff like that. It's a super like cool little thing, and I've been finding that really helpful recently because I get rewarded for it.
I am definitely going to check that out because if there's anything that will make me consistently do something, it's if I feel like I'm getting those like micro rewards,
Yes,
which is
definitely.
why Pokemon Go is still an addiction.
That's okay. I understand. But yeah, definitely let me know if you get on there, and we can you can join my quest party.
Yeah. I'll have to see if anyone else is also using it because I don't know how many friends or what you need to do whatever.
When you first start off, like two to three people is fine. Like right now, it's just me and my boyfriend doing it, although he hasn't been doing it very often.
Oh, is he right
But
there?
yeah, he just flipped me off. Yeah, so when you get into a party, it depends on how many people are doing their tasks defines how many hit points you get
Oh,
against the
that's
boss.
cool.
Yeah, so it's
Nice.
really cool. I think you'll
Okay,
like.
I think I will too.
And then for rewards that you can buy for yourself, you can put in your own tasks. So right, so for my rewards, I have like read for 30 minutes, polish my nails. I think there's like get ice cream in there that I put, and those are ones that I put for myself.
Yes. Oh, I'm not surprised.
I love ice cream.
Because it's amazing.
It is. It's really good, but I'm trying to stop. Another thing I guess I'm trying to do for more self-care is work out more. So I've started a workout routine of 3 times a week,
All right.
protein shakes, and then I have meal replacement shakes for days I'm not doing. And I feel like that's honestly been giving me a lot more energy. Even though I'm waking up earlier, more times a week, it's definitely given me a lot. I used to work out a lot before, and I feel like and that definitely kept my stress levels down, and I think doing it now is helping.
It's one of those things where, for as much as there's so much resistance to going out and exercising because it feels like such a chore, the rewards you get from it are very large.
Oh, definitely. Like, I hate running. I cannot stand it. It is like the bane of my existence. But whenever I'm running, my mind is so clear, and I just do like a small 10-minute run in the beginning of my workout. It just feels so good to kind of clear my head and, okay, this is what I'm focusing on right now.
As someone who has never been athletic in the slightest, I actually grew to really like running just for the fact that like your body is doing something it's built to do, and it feels really cool, even if as you start you're like, oh my gosh, why? You get to the middle and then you're like, oh yeah, this is cool, I can do this. Yeah. And I love it. I start to crave it now when I don't do it enough, and it's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I've developed an addiction, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
Definitely. And I think, it's I guess it depends on how often you do it. The technical term for addiction is like, or for any kind of disorder is like, does it cause you distress?
No, running doesn't, but there's so many other things.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, it is real good for you, and even though you have that time where like, oh, it feels good. It does.
You just have to get through the sludge at the beginning to get to the better part at the end.
Oh yeah, I use it of like, all right, I'm doing this, I'm kicking butt, like, take this, all these things or whatever.
If we're talking about apps, have you ever tried the Zombies Run?
No, what's that?
It's a running app, so you turn it on when you start running, and you can play your music with it. But it's a narrative thing, and you're a runner for this like dystopian community, and you have to go get all the stuff. And you can either do it just to play, or you can do it by like, it tracks where you are by distance. And so like, you pick up health packs, you pick up these and that, and every once in a while it tells you like, the zombies are chasing you, you need to run faster.
What? That's super cool. Okay.
It's really fun. I enjoy it a lot.
I'm gonna have to try that, because I usually just run on a treadmill, but
you can use it on a treadmill. Just every time it tells you, because it doesn't have to track where you are, but every time like it tells you to run faster, you can either choose to do that or you can turn it up.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And it just makes it interesting.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah. It's one of, I think it might have been what got me into actually enjoying it, because it makes me the star of a dystopian movie, just like I've always dreamed.
I mean, it'll happen for you one day. I believe it. I've dreamt it multiple times.
Yes. If we dream, we can achieve. I made a vision board and everything. So going back to being a student through school, you've been working the entire time you're in school.
Yes.
But you haven't necessarily been working in the field that you're studying.
Not for money.
Do you find it like a struggle to find a way into that field, or how's it going?
I think it's hard because, when people think of the field of psychology, or even for jobs, when you look at it, it's a lot of like working as a school counselor or working with kids with autism, which I cannot work with children, just because I would probably be bawling in front of them, and I would want to take all of them home, and they're going to be like sitting on me with a blank face like, lady, aren't you supposed to be helping me?
And your apartment would get crowded very fast.
Yes, very, very fast. I can't do that. School counseling, you have to be certified for it, and I can't do that. So yeah, it's been really hard to try and find something like in my field to put on my CV, especially because we can TA at my school, but you need to know the professors, and because I did an online program first, I don't know the professors as well as other people, so other people are receiving it over me, so it's been kind of hard to find something in the field that I can work with. But at the same time, it's kind of nice to not work in the field as my job, because it takes my mind off of.
And you're not surrounded the entire time?
Exactly. So it takes my mind off of school, off of everything else I'm doing. I work with makeup right now, so it's fun, like I get to put makeup on people, and I get to make them feel good about themselves, which is one of the reasons I joined the field of psychology in the first place.
Makeup is its own form of therapy sometimes.
Exactly. So
and you've gotten so good at it.
Thank you. I've been trying. I've been trying real hard. I was so mad because when I was doing Jessica's makeup that day we all went to Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
All of her eyeliners were dried out, and I was like,
oh no.
yeah. So I was so mad. So her wings didn't come out like I wanted them to, and I was like, Jessica, you need to go get more eyeliner.
I still say NYX has the best eyeliner I've ever used, and I will stand by it.
Yes, it's so good. You use the Epic ink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I show that one to you a couple years ago, or
You
did
might
you?
have, yeah.
And then I found another one too at CVS. It's called the Joa Cosmetics.
Yeah.
And they do one similar to, they have a like a brush tip as well, but it's thinner. So
Ooh.
it's definitely one you might want to check out. It's like $8, I think. And their pencil liner also just stays on the waterline so well. Oh my God, I love it. But you can only find it at CVS.
I mean, that's fine. CVS has surprisingly good stuff. Not
They
sponsored
do.
by any of these people. See, for me, makeup has become like a weird kind of thing because I used to hate it. And I know that you did too. You were like anti whatever. I found it to be a really fun just form of expression. And
Yes.
just I get to make myself be whoever I feel like, and it can add to the confidence, and it also can just be a really fun time. And so I've done it before where I feel like doing something weird, so I'll pick something to be inspired by and go do a makeup thing, and it's just a fun time for me. So it's one of those things where you take the time to do something for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Like you were saying, I used to hate it too. I used to be like, well, why would you ever want to take the time out of your day to do something like that? But it was actually only until when I started working here a couple years ago that it kind of opened my eyes to like, wow, this is an art.
Yeah.
It is a serious art and it's beautiful and people can do such creative things with it and it's amazing. I mean, I still won't wear foundation, but
Hey,
but
that can be better for your skin sometimes.
yeah.
But no, I've gotten comments before at work because I'm like one of the only people who goes in with like makeup.
Hmm.
I work with mostly men, but still.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of those things like, oh yeah, you don't go out the door without makeup on. It's like, no, but it helps me when I'm going through like a stressful work week to wake up and have a routine that is like
Hmm.
just me time in the morning. And
Oh, yes.
it gives me that like time just for myself. I get to listen to my music, drink my coffee, put makeup on, and it's a
Hmm.
nice thing before I have to work.
Sometimes it also just helps self-esteem. Like I was sick, I was sick for a while this last month, and when I was finally starting to feel better, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put some makeup on because I've been feeling horrible these last few weeks. Like I need to feel good about myself, and it helped me feel a lot better.
So can I ask you, student, and I know that school and college is just like it's a lot. For me, I went to a technical school, so it was a short amount of time and then, it was over and I got to go do stuff. Whether or not people would hire me for it or not is a different thing. But how do you keep the motivation to keep going when it just feels like so much?
Honestly, I think talking to people really helps. Like, I mean, I've talked to you about it, Jessica, Stephanie, my boyfriend, my parents, and just telling myself too, like, I've worked this hard to do this. Why am I going to stop now when I've come so far?
You are, to me, one of the most determined people that I know. You have such a drive, and I've always found it like very admirable. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you for this is just because I've rarely met people with that much push to be like, I really want to do this thing. I know I can do it. I'm taking all the steps because I am in control of the things that I want to do, and you're making what you want happen. And I think that's amazing. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We lost you for 1 sec. You froze, but I don't know where it cut off. But I was saying that I just think that the push that you have to get to where you want to be and just get there because you have the drive, you have the vision of what you want is just an amazing thing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've been working for this for my whole life. Ever since I was little, I knew what I wanted to do, and it just, gosh, I just kept going.
Yeah. You have always found a way to make it happen, and it's awesome.
Thanks. I've been trying really hard because I've had a lot of people tell me that I can't. And I don't like people telling me that I can't do something. So it's like, I got to show you in your face, like, I don't need you. I don't need you and your negativity. And I can. I can do whatever I want.
Okay, the best revenge in the world is success.
I so many people have just been so negative about my journey, but you know
hey,
what?
they're all gonna get stuck somewhere else.
Yep. I feel great being able to say like, well, yeah, because I was told I wouldn't be able to make it in college. That I shouldn't even try. And it's like, well, I did my undergrad and I did my master's, and you know what? Like, I'm still going.
And you're gonna get there, because I don't think that you will let yourself do anything else.
Definitely.
I don't think you'll let the world make you do anything else.
No, I want to do something great.
And you will. I mean, you already are. You'll just do even greater things.
Appreciate it. I'm trying so hard.
And it shows. But I think that that's a good kind of round off place. I'm very, very thankful that you decided to come on and share your insights and your story, because I think a lot of people nowadays, especially, school is hard, and it just trying to make your dream happen is hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that you're a good showing of determination, and willpower is a very big driving force when you let it be.
Thanks. It's been a rough journey, but working on it.
I think you're doing a good job.
Thanks, so are you. You're beautiful.
So are you. I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
The tradition to sign off on this podcast is to howl to the universe to release all that pent-up frustration. If your boyfriend wants to, he's also welcome to howl if he would like.
Are you howling?
Sure.
He's howling.
All right. So I'll give us the count of 3, and then you howl. All right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
All right. Thank you, and thank you for joining us for a second. Thanks again to Briana for being on Mystic Girl Cult. She is one of the best people I know, and while for her privacy I'm not sharing her socials or anything like that, I do think that she will help so many people in her career and outside of it. Thanks for joining in our circle. Mystic Girl Cult is a bi-monthly podcast. The rest of the time we're out running with the wolves. Until next time, stay magic.